Wavy Boy Productions.
What? Is it me? Is this really me right now? Is it really me right now? What is up to my loyal, supportive people out there in the world? I'm so sorry I've disappointed you. It's been 3 months. What is that? 3 months? That's way too long. But I'm back and I've been wanting to make this video. So guys, I finally, in my entire 20 years of living, have finished my very first book. I look kind of crazy right now, but it's okay. My first ever book. And pretty much today's video, I'm trying not to make it too long because I feel like more people would watch my videos if it wasn't that long. Ice Trader gang, yay, Ice Trader. But anyways, I feel like people would watch it if it was shorter, so I'm gonna try to make it like 10 minutes hopefully. So pretty much what I'm gonna talk about is there's 13 chapters in here, so I'm gonna talk about like pretty much each chapter and what I got out of every chapter. It sounds boring, but trust me, so you don't even gotta read the book. I'm about to just give you the straight facts right now. So pretty much I said there's 13 chapters. I wrote down some things that are like the key points. So let's dive right into this video. You feel me? All right. So the first step, we're going to call it the 13 steps to riches. The first step is in the chapter is desire. So pretty much is the starting point to everything. I look at this whole chapter just believe in yourself. I wrote down it has to be you have to have a definite thought, like a definite desire for something for it to come into real life. So this chapter really was just talking about how you have to have like a fixed amount of money that you want to make in your head, you have in your mind pretty much, and you have to think about that amount. You have to write down that amount. You have to just have that already in your head, and then eventually it comes into real life. And a lot of people don't think this because they never really thought about it, like, oh, writing down how much money I'm gonna make or I want to make, that's not gonna do anything. Well, guess what? You're training your mind and you're looking at it so much that it will happen. Okay, so money conscience. This is everything that I just said is pretty much your money conscience. But desire is nothing without action. So you could think all day, I want this much, I want to be this, I want to do this and that, but if you don't have, that's another chapter they talk about, but pretty much how it ties in, if you don't have an action plan behind it, then where are you going? All right, the second step, I need to talk faster because there's 13. The second step is faith. And pretty much faith is a mix of desire. You got to mix faith with desire, and you have to mix faith with thoughts. So your belief level or faith is the element which determines the action behind it. So how it ties in is you have a desire for something, but in order to have a plan and actually do the plan, faith got to be in the mix somewhere. You got to have the faith and the belief level has to be high, because if it's not, then you really aren't really going towards nothing. I mean, you don't really have a purpose and you don't really believe if faith isn't in there. So, what else did I write? A lot to do with the way you think. It's very powerful. You can give others faith just by you being such a firm believer. So just by you, having that faith at high level of confidence and faith, like the way you are, the way you carry yourself, could give somebody else that level of faith. And oh dang, like I see them getting it, like let me go get it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I think about it. Okay, third chapter, Autosuggestion. So pretty much what I got out of this chapter was what you plug into your mind. So, I mean, what you read, what you listen. Look, I listen to a lot of music that you could say really isn't helping my mind, which I'm trying to transition over, but it has a lot to do with like what you listen to, like what you're watching, what you're plugging into your mind. A lot of that has to do with autosuggestion. So I mean, pretty much what I got out of it was we have the power to influence our subconscious mind. Like, we have that power. We are in control. You are in control. You. And I'm in control of my own mind, my own thoughts, what I think about. See, I'm trying to be serious, but like I have to be goofy like in some way. But y'all know what I mean, like, you feel me? But so pretty much that's what I got out of that chapter. Okay, next, chapter 4. I'm going through this fast, but if you wanna get more in detail and depth into it, you gotta read the book. But okay, the 4th is specialized knowledge. Now this chapter I really, really liked, because I learned that there's 2 different types of knowledge: general and specialized knowledge. So general is like what we're taught in school, like how to learn, how to write, how to read, how to talk, not how to talk, but you know what I mean, like things that you learn throughout your childhood, and kind of like the basics. Like you have to know like 2 + 2, like, you know, stuff like that. That's basic to me, so I just said that. But specialized knowledge is pretty much organizing a product, using your talents, your techniques, your imagination, and implying it into something in your life. Like it could be your career, your passion, what you're good at, what you're going towards. Like that is a different type of knowledge that you accumulate. And this knowledge can't be taught. You have to learn this on your own and use it. How do I explain it? You get something that, it's just something that isn't taught. It's something that we have to learn. Like all of this stuff isn't taught. It's stuff that you have to learn. So that's pretty much specialized knowledge. That's the easiest way to put it. And knowledge is only potential power. So you can know everything in the whole world. You can know this and that. You can be woke in the world. But if you aren't doing anything to change the world or helping anyone in any way, your power that you have, which is the knowledge that you learn and that you know, is useless. You get what I'm saying? Because you know all this information, but you're not plugging it into something and making something out of it, you know? Had to turn nothing to something. All right. 5th one, imagination. So I need to go faster. I'm at 8 minutes. Okay, so imagination is the workshop of the mind. So pretty much broadcast, this is where your thoughts are being broadcasted and received, and being received. So I read in the chapter, it says it's the broadcast and receiving station for the vibration of thoughts. So pretty much, I want to read you guys something real quick. There's 2 different types of imagination. There's synthetic and then there's creative imagination. So let's see. So synthetic imagination is one can arrange old concepts, ideas, or plans into new combination. This faculty creates nothing. It merely works with the material of experience, education, and observation with which is fed. It is the faculty used by the inventor, with the exception of the genius, who draws upon the creative imagination when unable to solve a problem through synthetic imagination. So now creative imagination is the finite human mind has direct communication with infinite intelligence. It is a faculty through which hunches and inspirations are received. It is by this faculty that all basics or new ideas are handed over to us. It is through the faculty that through vibrations or influences from the mind of others are received. So this is more like it's just more powerful to me, because you can literally how how do I explain it? It just, you feed off of other people's minds and imagination, and together y'all create something big. Y'all come up with something, or you come up with something on your own, but that's when the actual like creativeness is coming into place with this type of imagination. And I mean, just like anything else, your imagination is pointless without use. So I mean, if you keep imagining yourself as an artist, if you keep imagining yourself as a chef, if you keep imagining yourself like as a YouTuber, like anything that you imagine, like do it, go after it, try it, just try something different. Because I remember before YouTube, I had a thought, like I imagined myself, you know, being big on YouTube. So I mean, everything just comes behind action. So that's how I started the YouTube, by using that imagination that I had. And I imagined this, and I already knew this was, you know, gonna, like, it hasn't happened yet, but I know it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. People gonna love me. Like, let me fix the lighting. It's just a matter of time and being consistent, and everything that I'm talking about, I need to like apply more into my life. So don't think I'm just talking here and I got everything figured out. Like, I'm still learning every day. I'll never stop learning. When you stop learning, you dying, because you always learn something different every day. Okay. So next, moving on, chapter 6. I'm not even halfway. Oh my God. But I'm y'all get me though? I'm making sense. Okay, chapter 6. Organized planning. So pretty much this is having a schedule. This is going after something. I mean, everything is pretty much like going after it, but organized planning is having like actual plan. Okay, this day I'm gonna do this, and organizing your day. And it has a lot to do with getting into the habit of doing things, which can take, you know, someone years to do, or you can just understand the concept and just do it. And it's a lot with defeat. Like, temporary defeat is not permanent. So if your plan doesn't go as you want it, take that and just keep going after it, or doing something different, or trying something different, or switching things around. But don't stop until you get it. All right? So organized planning. I wrote something down. Okay, right here. I underlined, when defeat comes, accept it as a signal that your plans are not sound. Rebuild those plans and set sail once more towards your coveted goal. So what I just said, like, keep going, never stop. All right, next one, 7, decision. Ooh wee. This one is huge. Decision. You know why it's huge? Because the opposite of decision is procrastination. And everybody procrastinates. Everybody, every human, everybody. Like, it even said it's the enemy that everybody has to conquer. And it's crazy because, I mean, like, a lot of times in this world, we're a lot alike. A lot of people are alike. We go through a lot of similar situations, but we really don't realize it. And I feel like everybody has to kind of conquer not the same things in life, but a lot of the similar things, like procrastination or failures, or just everything. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people had to go through things that I probably had to go through, or like something as little as like getting over like people hating, or someone talking about you, like stuff like that you have to learn to just like block. Okay, so decision. A lack of decision is one of the main reasons people fail. You hear that? Lack of decision is one of the main reasons people fail. Because time goes by and you just don't even go after it, because you're stuck in that I don't want to get uncomfortable. I don't I don't know if I'm comfortable doing this. I like where I'm at. Oh, this is, I'm okay with this amount of money. And you just stuck in the middle for forever, for life. Life goes by and you didn't make the decision to do something greater. Straight like that. Okay, so next one, 8, persistence. So persistence is willpower and desire. This is when they both desire. This is when they both come in. So it has to do a lot with consistency. It has to do a lot with habit. You get in the habit of things, and you get in the habit of doing the same routine, and that creates persistence. And with persistence, eventually it creates faith. So if you don't have a high faith, or you don't have a high level of belief, if you're persistent and consistent and you do things and you start throughout the process, you start seeing small wins, throughout the process, that creates, your level of belief goes from here to here. Because before, when it's hard to believe and have faith and all of this stuff when you really don't got it. So that's when it's really hard, because it's easy for someone that has a lot of money and that's doing good and making it to have all of these things, because they're already there. But it's hard when you don't have it. So that's why it's just the process from here to here is just all this stuff you have to overcome, all this stuff that you have to go through. But you have to do this stuff in order to get here. You have to understand it, at least. You have to understand it and apply it. There's probably a lot of stuff here that you actually apply in your life that you didn't know. Like when I was reading it, I was like, oh, I do that. I do some of this stuff. So I am what's the word? It is, a lot of it is common sense. That's pretty much it. A lot of it is common sense that isn't very common because people don't know about it. So that's persistence. Just being consistent and going after. Just being consistent. Number 9 is mastermind. So the power of the mastermind. So I mean, your power is essential for whatever you do in life. The power may be produced better if more brains are working together, as in you have a group of people and you all guys come up with ideas together, and more than one brain works better together. That's pretty much the power of the mastermind and what it can do. It goes a lot more into detail, but I'm just gonna sum it up because I'm talking too much. Okay, the next one, 10. This one was very interesting to me, and I learned a lot. It was one of my favorite chapters, and it was Mystery of Sex Transmutation. So to transmute means transferring of one element of or form of energy into another. So the emotion of sex contains the secret of creative ability. Pretty much saying that it's one of the most, how do I say this? It's one of the most powerful, sex is one of the most powerful, things in the world. And you can either use it in a good way or in a bad way. And pretty much saying use the sex drive, whatever, all that, you use all that energy that you have towards sex or one thing, use all of that energy into your craft, and use all that energy into the habit of doing something. And pretty much saying, do I make sense? Let me read it off the book, because I don't think I make sense. I know, when I read it, it makes sense, and then when I try to say it, it doesn't make sense. So, through cultivation and understanding, the vital force may be drawn upon and used to great advantage in relationships with other people. The average person reaches a period of greatest capacity to create between 40 and 60. That's what I'm saying. Our best times aren't here yet. They coming though. It says 40 through 60. Those are our golden years. That's when, but you have to work hard still in your 20s, 30s. That's when you fail and put everything that you got on the line, so that when you are at that age, it's just easy. It's just easy. Look, read this. Listen to this. Every intelligent person knows that stimulation in excess through alcohol, drinks, and narcotic is a form of intemperance which destroys the vital organs of the body, including the brain. Not every person knows, however, that indulgence in sexual expression may become a habit as destructive and as detrimental to creative effort as narcotics or liquor. That is crazy. That's all I have to say. So let me see where the road to genius consists of the development, control, and use of proper sex, love, and romance. What else did I read in here that was important? One who has loved truly can never lose entirely. I really like that. I underlined it. So it says here, marriages that are not blessed with the eternal affinity of love and sex properly balanced and proportion cannot be fully happy. Love alone will not bring happiness in marriages, nor will sex alone. But when these two beautiful emotions are blended, marriage may bring about a state of mind which is closest to the spiritual that one may ever know during earthly existence. And this was very interesting. Love versus sex. So the major difference is that love is spiritual while sex is biological. Love is chemistry, sex is physics. No experience that touches the human heart with a spiritual force can possibly be harmful except through ignorance or jealousy. Say no more. That's all I had to say. That chapter is like really, really interesting, and I think y'all should read it. Okay, next. I'm mad that I took that long on that one. 11. I'm almost done. The subconscious mind. So I've kind of been talking about this throughout the chapters, the subconscious mind. Every impulse of thought or sensation reaches this, like everything negative, positive. You have the ability to turn negative thoughts into positive thoughts, which is hard, but you have the ability to do it. Your subconscious mind functions naturally whether you make any effort to influence it or not. That is scary. It's working whether you know it is or not. Some people may not even know what they're feeding into their subconscious mind, and it's still your thoughts, like they listen to this stuff. It's like, think of it like another human being inside your head. They're listening. They're very subconscious mind is very gentle. You have to work with it. You have to understand it. You have to know what you're teaching it. You could say that. And this is crazy right here. Look, negative thoughts are automatically installed, but positive thoughts must be taught. Let me read that again. Negative thoughts are automatically installed, but positive thoughts must be taught. Why the world do us like that? Why does the world do us? This is why life is hard, because of this stuff like this. People have to know how to just work with that. Like, people have to know that fact. I think it's that simple, that people just need to know that. And just based off of that could teach you your next step, just by knowing that. You know that the person that wrote this book, it took him 20 years to figure out all this stuff. 20 years of his life, and he finally understood life and wrote a book about it. So it's like, you could learn all of this like just by sleep. Anyways, 12, the brain. I'm going way past the time I wanted to, but it's okay, because feel like I'm talking too fast about the chapters. But anyways, the brain, which is the most important organ, muscle, whatever, in our entire system. So we need to exercise the brain. We need to read things that are affecting the brain in a positive way. And I mean, everything is pretty much received and transmuted through the brain. So there's not really much more to say on that, but oh yeah, there's one quote I wanted to read. The creative imagination is the receiving set of the brain which processes thoughts released by the brains of others. So pretty much creative imagination is the mechanism by which intuition and hunches seem to spring out thin air, and by which two or more people working closely together in a state of intense concentration and focus seem to anticipate each other's next thoughts, actions, insights, and every actual words. You ever been with somebody that you're really close with, or yo boo thing or something, and y'all like say each other's next like phrase or what y'all about to say? Because that always happens to me. Always, like, I'm with someone and we like say each other's next words. That's because y'all are what I just read. Step 13, the sixth sense. This one was very, very, very interesting to me. The sixth sense, very interesting, because I remember reading, hold on, let me find. I remember reading that you can't explain this to anybody that doesn't understand all the other 12 steps. This can't be explained. So you know how we have 5 senses? We actually have 6. And some people go their entire life not knowing that we have a 6th sense, which in my eyes is the most important. So let me explain to y'all really what it is. I want to tell y'all exactly what it is. So I'm going to read it off the book. So the 6th sense is the defining faculty which marks the difference between a genius and an ordinary person. So don't you want to know what the 6th sense is? Don't you want to know? Because it separates a genius from an ordinary person. So I'm sure you want to know what it is. I'm sure you want to know what it is. So the 6th sense is the creative imagination. You remember in the beginning when I talked about creative imagination versus something else? How would I be forgetting like that? I remember talking about it. I talked about the two differences. Well, it's the faculty of creative imagination is one which the majority of people never use during their entire lifetime. And if used, it usually happens by accident. A relatively small number of people use this with deliberation, purpose, and forethought, a faculty of creative imaginations. So the creative imagination is the direct link between the finite human mind and the infinite intelligence. So how do I explain this better? So, I mean, a better way to put it is it has been the receiving set through which ideas, plans, and thoughts flash into the mind. These flashes are sometimes called hunches or inspiration. The 6th sense defies description. It cannot be described to a person who has not mastered the other principles, because such a person has no knowledge and no experience with which the 6th sense may be compared. Understanding the 6th sense comes only by meditation through mind development from within. The 6th sense most likely is the medium of contact between the finite human and the infinite intelligence, and for this reason, it is a mixture of both the mental and the spiritual. It is believed to be the point at which the human mind contacts the universal mind. So if you want to know more about the 6th sense, you got to go read about it, because I really don't know how to explain too much. Like, I hope that made sense, because you got to just like read it to understand it. But I understand it, and it's powerful. So that, there's one more thing. It's not part of the 13 steps, but it's like the last chapter on here, which talks about how to outwit the 6 ghosts of fear. So this chapter pretty much talks about taking inventory of yourself as you read, finding out things, how many of the ghosts stand in your way. The ghost is the 6 fears. So these are the 6 fears, guys. The 6 basic fears: the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of loss of someone, the fear of loss of love of someone, the fear of old age, and the fear of death. So those are the 6 basic fears that you really want to overcome in your life. And pretty much what I got, like, just to sum everything up, because I'm just like, okay, so what did I really get out of this entire book? Pretty much, I'm going to sum it up in one sentence. If I fail in life, it's because of my state of mind. And believe in yourself and go after it and go get it. And don't let nobody get in the way, not even the 6 basic fears. So that's it. This video was longer than it was supposed to be, but I had to say everything that I had to say. And I'm going to try to cut it down so it's shorter. But yep, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe. But yes, and one more thing I wanted to ask you guys. There's 2 books. See, the lighting is better this way. I should have recorded this way. Anyways, there's 2 books that I have in mind to read, and I want your guys' opinion. I want y'all's opinion on it. So this one is going to be Success Through Positive Mental Attitude. That's my first option. Or this one, How to Own Your Own Mind. So comment which one sounds more interesting. They're both by the same author, so I'm pretty sure, Napoleon Hill, so I'm pretty sure that they're going to be alike, but it's different at the same time. So, yep, tell me which one I should read. Bye, guys. See y'all soon. I won't go MIA this long anymore, I promise, all right? Bye.
Music